Welcome to the halftime show here on Bear Football, part of the Barroom Network. John Buffone alongside Danny Shimon and Coach T. The Bears trailing the Green Bay Packers 7-6 in this Week 18 showdown. The Bears trying to keep the Packers out of the playoff. Kind of a weird half, gentlemen. We'll throw it around the horn here in a little bit, but my first thought was, Danny, I'm looking at this defense, and they're just not getting to Jordan Love. They're just not getting to him. Same that we saw in September. He might as well have a pillow back there with how comfortable he is. I saw a lack of blitzing. I saw no pressure there. And then the Bears' offensive line's also getting blown up. So both kind of a rough start to the game for both lines, both on the offensive and defensive side of the ball. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree with you in terms of the defense. I mean, we saw a couple of blitzes there. There was one, I think TJ Edwards came in, or might have been Edmonds. He got to Love as he was getting rid of the football, so they got pressure on him there. And then obviously the one sack by DeMarcus Walker, that's all they've been doing. I mean, they've been getting there, but the Jordan Love has got a nice quick release. He's been playing in the flow of the offense. He's got some good young weapons on the outside. He's getting the ball, and they're basically picking the Bears apart in that middle of that defense. So for me, if you're Eberflus, and the adjustment I would make is just bring some more timely blitzes. The one thing watching the film of the last couple of games, what Eberflus has been doing is he's disguising stuff nicely. He's been shadowing like they're playing man coverage, and all of a sudden ball is snapped and they're dropped back in the zone. So some more of that stuff to confuse Jordan Love would be great. Obviously, there's tendencies on film that they've seen, the Packers coaches have seen, so they prepared Love for that. So it got to be a little bit more exotic. I'm thinking here, hey, this is the last game of the season. It's basically, you're going home, right? So bring it all in. If you have to, some zero blitz in there, just throw some new wrinkles in there, in my opinion, to get Jordan Love rattled. Obviously, that was a nice, almost interception there by Terrell Smith in the end zone. That would have been a huge pickup. But anyway, they were able to get the field goal off. So that's a nice, nice stop there. Defensive, that could give them some momentum now going into that second half. Offensively, like you said, John, at the time Justin's had time back there to sit back there, he's been picking them apart. But there's times, that front line of the Packers are playing a lot of games, a lot of stunts, and they're getting to the Bears. Tevin Jenkins had I think for me, a couple of rough sets in pass protection, got beat badly. Nate Davis, keep an eye on this. Nate Davis is out with a foot injury. Whitehair was put in at right guard. So I'm curious if they're going to keep that there. Obviously, we know Whitehair's been predominantly playing at left guard throughout his career and center. I wonder if halftime they might switch it around, put Tevin at right guard and put Whitehair at left guard. We'll keep an eye on that there as well. But yeah, the offensive line, if they've given Justin some time, he's been able to get the ball out, got some big plays to, I think it was 6 for 6 starting off the game. And 5 of those passes went to a different receiver. So he was spreading the ball out. He was a nice rhythm, nice flow early on. Just give Justin some protection. This Packers secondary can be beaten. So let's give him some time, protect him up front. Mixing the run game, and there are a couple of nice runs there by Khalil Herbert. There was also some couple of stops there as well. So just keep it, don't give up on the run game, Getsy. Mix things in and out here and there. And then just give Justin some time, and I think you will be able to put some points on this Packers defense. And defensively, just put more pressure on Jordan Love.
Some halftime stats here. Jordan Love goes 15 of 19 for 158 yards and a touchdown. He's on pace for another 300-yard game. If you look over at the Bears side of the ball, Justin Fields 8 of 9 for 94 yards. He's also rushed 4 times for 6 yards. Coach, I'm going to bring you in here. Justin's been under some duress here. What have you seen from the offensive scheme so far, and what they need to adjust to kind of offset some of the pressure that's coming on the quarterback?
Yeah, probably the biggest thing so far is that second and 2 play call. I don't know what that was, right? Second and 2 play call right there. That's obviously a shot down. Everybody in the stadium knows that. Either you're taking a shot on 2nd and 2, or you're running something simple to get you get the first down. It's a drive killer. It's a momentum killer, because we take the loss right there. We go to 3rd and 13, and we come away with no points after that. We have to punt the ball. So that was a 7-point swing already. Green Bay got their points off of that drive right there, but we're running the ball well. So I think we need to go back and play big boy football. Just keep it simple, run it down their throats, and simply play action off of running the ball. It's not that hard. And watch this. It would slow down the pass rush of the Green Bay Packers. Obviously, they have strong legs right now, so they're getting off the ball. They're earning the right to rush the passer. So we need to utilize our run game to slow their pass rush down by, taking a toll on the defensive lineman's leg, the legs of the Packer, right? We're making it easy for them. So, yeah, the passing stats are indicative of what we manufacture on offense. We're not manufacturing anything, and I try to always communicate that through play calling. The opposite can be seen on Green Bay side, right? They're manufacturing offensive stats through the play calling. So that's the difference in the game. That was a huge defensive play at the end of the half right there, because you take points off the board going in the half versus Green Bay. That little scenario right there could have went real bad if they got any points at all. So that was huge right there. Huge momentum play right there.
Absolutely, and they kind of got two of those breaks. They have the missed field goal, and then they keep them to 0 points at the end of the half. This very well could be 13-6 with Green Bay getting the ball in the third quarter, but it's just 7-6 with Green Bay getting the ball in the third quarter. Danny, moving on, I guess on the offensive side of the ball, who would you like to see get a little more involved? Right now, you look at the receiving yards. DJ Moore has 3 catches for 53 yards. St. Brown, 1 catch for 18. Cole Kmet was targeted a few times in the middle for, I think he has 2 catches for 14 yards. A couple of shots to Tyler Scott and to Khalil Herbert. But who needs to get more involved, and who needs to be schemed open a little bit more?
Yeah, you said right there. You mentioned your name, Cole Kmet. If we know it's coming on into the game, he was questionable with the knee injury. If he's healthy, I'd like to see him get a little bit more active here. And then also Robert Tonyan on the opposite. I know he's a former Packer coming back here to Lambeau, maybe do something there, juice him up a little bit, get a couple catches there. Those tight ends, especially when that pass rush is coming so quickly, those guys can be the quarterback's best friends. And, they'll always call that their security blanket. So I think those 2 tight ends could play a nice, major role there as well in terms of creating some offense there for Justin and the Bears. The other thing was, the screen game. Coach mentioned, a nice way to stop that rush is a screen game. And I know the screen game here is something that we throw out there and people just, pull their hair out. But I'm not saying call 3 screens in a row like Getsy's done in the past. I'm just saying that one screen that they called to Herbert, if that tackle or the defensive lineman made a great play, because if he hadn't gotten Herbert by his ankles, that could have been a nice, huge first down gain there. So, throwing a screen here and there just to get those pass rushers a little bit, off track there. But yeah, the tight ends and maybe a screen here or there, I think could help open things up for Moore and company down the field.
Moving forward on the defensive side of the ball, Coach, how much do you think that they are really missing Jalen Johnson today? It's not to say that the secondary is doing what they need to do. Unfortunately, the middle of the field is wide open. How much would Jalen Johnson impact this game if he were in there?
I think he gives an extra punch. Definitely from a confidence standpoint, right? I think the young kid though is Smith is doing a pretty good job. I like to see him get that interception right there and pull that off and turn that around. But you know what I'm saying? What you look for when you watch him from the defensive side what concerns me is on the plays where we have guys running wide open. Mm-hmm. That's alerting me that the coverages that we're calling are not there. That's more concerning for me than, any other thing. When we have guys running wide open, it's an indicator to me that the coverages that Matt Eberflus is calling may not have guys in the right positions. That's more concerning than any individual player. I think once he gets it dialed up, like Danny said, then we'll be okay. I would like to do what Danny said. I'd like him to go, you have nothing to lose, coach. You know what I'm saying? So let's ball out. Let's send pressure. Let's get Jordan Love uncomfortable. Let's get some hits on him, even if we don't get there with the and get the sack. Let's get some hits on him and knock him off his spot and get him uncomfortable.
And Danny, I was going to say real quick, Danny, that's what we were saying weeks ago, even week 1 was, I'd rather Jordan Love have to read the pressure and then make a great throw on pressure and hit the hot route than just having them pick apart the middle the entire game and watch 1,000 cuts down the field, and then they just have these long drawn out drives because the middle of the field's so open. So go on with that thought. That's something we've been talking about.
Yeah, the only thing is the Jordan 1 from week 1 and this Jordan 1, totally different player. Yeah, this Jordan Love will burn you. That week 1 Jordan Love, he was just learning first game. You pressure a young quarterback and you make mistakes. This guy, he knows how to beat you. The one thing I was going to say to follow what Coach Shea was saying, Aaron Jones getting that run game going really has taken the linebackers a little bit off of their path. Because any sort of ball fake or play action to Jones has those linebackers, kind of biting on that, twitching or waiting for like a split second, make sure he doesn't have the football. So that holds them from dropping back into coverage, and there you see those wide open middle of the field. And that's a Tremaine Edmonds, TJ Edwards area where they can kind of drop back there and drop in the zone as well. So I think Aaron Jones getting going, I think that's something that the defense, if they can go and stop and shut down Aaron Jones from getting any positive runs, that could also help them, the linebackers now, drop back a little bit more in coverage and maybe, tie up or kind of, solidify that middle of that defense.
It's Roshan time. In the run game, it's Roshan time with power football, 12, 13, 21, 20. Let's play bully ball this second half featuring Roshan, and let's get physical. That's what I want to see us do.
And, Coach, I was going to follow up with you. You mentioned Roshan Johnson. How much of this second half, obviously you're trying to win the game and you're trying to keep the Packers from making the playoffs, but how much is this last half of the season as much as evaluating some of these guys like Roshan Johnson, maybe Tyler Scott, some of these younger guys that you have that you're going to try to see if are they going to be on the, not necessarily be on the team, but how much of a role are they going to have next year? How much does this last half of the year play into that kind of evaluation process?
I mean, you had 17 previous games to evaluate it, right? Right now, I think it's about sending a message to your division rival, and they say that there's no secondary wins in football. I think if we go out and physically beat the hell out of them and prepare them for what's happening or what should come next season, that's the move right here. We have to send a message, and if not win the game, we have to send a message by physically beating them down to let them know that they won't be able to run over us going forward. We have to send a message to Green Bay moving forward.
And the other thing offensively is something that we always touch on, Coach, is I didn't see maybe one design rollout for Justin Fields to get out of the pocket, get away from that pressure. We've seen this guy constantly, on the run, on the outside, make accurate throws, find that secondary target down the field. So again, nothing there here for in terms of design play calls to get Justin away from the action rolled out.
Okay, second half just kicked off, and we come when the game hits 000, we'll be back. Give immediate reaction, carry the press conferences, and talk about the future of Chicago Bears, hopefully after a win over Green Bay. Enjoy the second half, everybody. We'll see you after the game.